Tun, retreat. Above, Chien, the creative heaven. Below, Ken, keeping still, mountain. The power of the dark is ascending. Oh, by the way, this is 50... No, what is this? 33. Here we go. The power of the dark is ascending. The light retreats to security so that the dark cannot encroach upon it. This retreat is a matter not of man's will, but of natural law. Therefore, in this case, withdrawal is proper. It is the correct way to behave in order not to exhaust one's forces. In the calendar, this hexagram is linked with the 6th month, July-August, in which the forces of winter are already showing their influence. The judgment, retreat, success. In what is small, perseverance furthers. There's a little note here at the bottom, says something about the idea expressed by this hexagram is similar to that in the saying of Jesus, but I say unto you that ye resist not evil. Right, where are we? Right. In the calendar, this hexagram is linked with the 6th month, July-August, in which the forces of winter are already showing their influence. The judgment, retreat, success in what is small, perseverance furthers. Conditions are such that the hostile forces favored by the time are advancing. In this case, retreat is the right course, and it is through retreat that success, or even success, is achieved. But success consists in being able to carry out the retreat correctly. Retreat is not to be confused with flight. Flight means saving oneself under any circumstances, whereas retreat is a sign of strength. We must be careful not to miss the right moment while we are in full possession of power and position. Then we shall be able to interpret the signs of the time before it is too late, and to prepare for provisional retreat instead of being drawn into a desperate life and death struggle. Thus, we do not simply abandon the field to the opponent. We make it difficult for him to advance by showing perseverance in single acts of resistance. In this way, we prepare while retreating for the counter-movement. Understanding the laws of a constructive retreat of this sort is not easy. The meaning that lies hidden in such a time is important. The image, mountain under heaven, the image of retreat. Thus the superior man keeps the inferior man at a distance. Not angrily, but with reserve. The mountain rises up under heaven, but owing to its nature, it finally comes to a stop. Heaven, on the other hand, retreats upward before it into the distance and remains out of reach. This symbolizes the behavior of the superior man toward a climbing inferior. He retreats into his own thoughts as the inferior man comes forward. He does not hate him, for hatred is a form of subjective involvement by which we are bound to the hated object. I always remember that one. The superior man shows strength, heaven, in that he brings the inferior man to a standstill, mountain, by his dignified reserve. The lines 6 at the beginning means at the tail in retreat. This is dangerous. One must not wish to undertake anything. Since the hexagram is the picture of something that is retreating, the lowest line represents the tail and the top line the head. In a retreat, it is advantageous to be at the front. Here one is at the back, in immediate contact with the pursuing enemy. This is dangerous, and under such circumstances, it is not advisable to undertake anything. Keeping still is the easiest way of escaping from the threatening danger. 6 in the second place means he holds him fast with yellow oxide. No one can tear him loose. Yellow is the color of the middle. It indicates that which is correct and in line with duty. Oxide is strong and not to be torn. While the superior men retreat and the inferior press after them. While the superior man retreats and the inferior... No, it's not man, it's men. While the superior men retreat and the inferior press after them, The inferior man, represented here, holds on so firmly and tight to the superior men that the latter cannot shake him off. He's using men, plural, and man, singular. That's what it says. While the superior men retreat and the inferior press after them, the inferior man, represented here, holds on so firmly and tightly to the superior men that the latter cannot shake him off. And because he is in quest of what is right and so strong in purpose, he reaches his goal. Remember again. While the superior men retreat and the inferior press after them, the inferior man, represented here, holds on so firmly and tightly to the superior men that the latter cannot shake him off. And because he is in quest of what is right and so strong in purpose, he reaches his goal. Thus the line confirms what is said in the judgment, in what is small, here equivalent to in the inferior man, perseverance furthers. Okay. 9 in the third place means a halted retreat is nerve-wracking and dangerous. To retain people as men and maidservants brings good fortune. When it is time to retreat, it is both unpleasant and dangerous to be held back, because then one no longer has freedom of action. In such a case, the only expedient is to take into one's service, so to speak, those who refuse to let one go, so that one may at least keep one's initiative and not fall helplessly under their domination. This is very interesting. But even with this expedient, the situation is far from satisfactory, for what can one hope to accomplish with such servants? And there's another little note down here. So the idea is suggested in the story of Jacob's battle with the angel of Peniel, I think it is. I will not let thee go except thou bless me. Coiling and sticking. Adopting the shape of your opponent. Right. 9 in the fourth place means voluntary retreat brings good fortune to the superior man and downfall to the inferior man. In retreating, the superior man is intent on taking his departure willingly and in all friendliness. He easily adjusts his mind to retreat because in retreating he does not have to do violence to his convictions. The only one who suffers is the inferior man from whom he retreats, who will degenerate when deprived of the guidance of the superior man. 9 in the fifth place means friendly retreat, perseverance brings good fortune. It is the business of the superior man to recognize in time that the moment for retreat has come. If the right moment is chosen, the retreat can be carried out within the forms of perfect friendliness, without necessity of disagreeable discussions. Yet, for all the observance of amenities, absolute firmness of decision is necessary, for one is not to be led astray by irrelevant considerations. 9 at the top means cheerful retreat. Everything serves to further. The situation is unequivocal. Inner detachment has become an established fact, and we are at liberty to depart. When one sees the way ahead thus clearly, free of all doubt, a cheerful mood sets in, and one chooses what is right without further thought. Such a clear path ahead always leads to the good. So